All right, it's a podcast. My name is Courtney Patterson, and this is the Talk Mortgage to Me podcast, the podcast where we talk all things crazy clients, bad headshots, and working from your car. Today, I have two of the most enthusiastic guests I've had, and I know this is episode 2, but they're still on top. I'm joined by a PrimeLine Loan Officer, Chelsea Emery, and I am joined by Shawn Gerald.
Hello.
Hi. Real estate broker to the stars.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a radio personality.
I was going to say also a radio teacher.
Yeah. Shawn has just discovered if you talk very close to the mic, it's super fun. Anyway, so thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yay! Everybody's excited.
Yes.
All right, so let's get into it. Let's get down and dirty. We have our drinks. I didn't tell Shawn about this part. I didn't really tell you, but you listened to the first episode, so you should know. We like to play a little drinking game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, drinking game. We have to pick a word. Every time we say that word, we have to drink.
Ooh.
What word? Last episode used rate, and that one got us pretty hard in the market section.
Ooh. Okay.
Should you just go client?
Oh.
Or do you think we're going to say that often?
I mean...
Maybe there won't be any working out today, but we can do
Client. Shawn and I are having Corona Lights because we plan on going to the gym later.
Yeah.
So we'll let you know how that's going at the end of the episode. Okay, so we're going to do client.
Client.
Yeah.
God.
Okay. So anytime you hear the word client, you have to drink. Let's keep each other accountable.
Okay.
Ooh.
Keep it in mind. That's a rough one.
Oh, boy.
I thought rate was bad, but this is it. So
Thanks, Chelsea.
I'm just going to take a little warm up.
yeah, you go ahead. Yeah, the other drinking game is that you could just drink during the podcast. That's also allowed. Let's get into it. Let's find out a little bit about you guys. We'll start with Chelsea. Tell me some of your background. How did you come to be a PrimeLine Loan Officer?
So I worked in corporate finance for about 6 years up in New York before I moved down here. I came down and worked for one of the big banks. I won't mention them. Did that for about a year. I have nothing bad or good to say about them. I just won't mention them. And should I go into
I think this is the place to do
The
it.
full
Yeah, if
roll.
Shawn's cool with sitting in the dugout for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get the tea.
all right. What better time? So my fiance.
Yes.
Some of you know
Who is that?
Who is he?
He works here.
Does he? Would you say he works here, or would you use another word?
His name is on the building.
Yeah.
His name is Fernando. Him and I decided when COVID started that we were going to take a cross-country trip together. We were gone for about 2 months. And while we were on that trip, we were both 2 months.
You guys had just met too, right?
We were hanging out for maybe 3 or 4 months, and then they shut the whole country down, and we were like, hey,
Wow.
You're hot, I'm hot. Let's get in a car.
Let's be hot together.
I remember calling my mom, and I was like, I'm getting ready to drive across the country with this guy. I'm safe, I think, but just... Here's my location.
I'm going to share my
location.
location.
I'm just kidding. But no, during that time period, I was still working remote for that bank. They did not know that I took a company computer across many state lines, and I was waking up at 5 o'clock California time just so I could be online at 8 a.m. so they wouldn't know I was gone. Then anyway, so I got to watch Fernando sell, and I got to watch him do what he does, which if you know him, he's very good at it. He also interviewed a lot of people that work here right now, and, watching how enthusiastic he was about, selling and talking to clients and, how rewarding that was, I was like, oh, this looks actually pretty cool. And then I found out loan officers can make a decent living.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Yeah.
Especially in when you were starting it.
Yeah. Yep. It was a great time. But it was kind of like that Wolf of Wall Street moment where I was like, you show me a paycheck, I'll quit my job tomorrow and come work for you.
Wow.
And, the rest is history. I did go through the full interview process, did my licensing, came here, and I left the finance world to sell mortgages.
Been killing it ever since.
I love what I do. I would never go back. Not everybody can work with their significant other. I think it's a really unique thing. But him and I love it, and it's like, this is our livelihood for, our future, our potential children's future, and we wake up with that same hustle and drive because it is like we're doing this for each other.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Love it.
Yeah, that's the Chelsea story, and don't let her fool you guys. Chelsea closed 73 loans in 2021, so she didn't come in and mess around. She came in and did it, and she's here for life. October we have a big wedding in Miami, so we're super excited. Sean, I was gonna say we're all gonna party in Miami.
Oh my God!
Everybody's got their hotels booked. It's, I mean, if you know us, it's gonna be a party.
Yes.
Big PrimeLine wedding, so we're very excited, and we're super glad that Fernando did not only find the right one, but also a pretty damn good loan officer. So
thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I agree.
Okay, Sean, we heard Chelsea's journey, finance. I know a little bit about your background, but not too much. So you tell me.
Well, man, where do I start? So,
right.
So I actually I joined the Marine Corps when I got out of high school. Desert Storm, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I decided at that time that fighting wasn't for me.
Yeah.
I was over there for a little bit, and when I came back home, what to do? Got into sales. So. Ultimately, I ended up owning Lady Shoe Store. So my friends used to call me Al Bundy.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, they did.
That is so funny.
Yep, owned Lady Shoe Stores, 3 malls. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, closed that business back in 2009.
Yeah.
When the first market crash happened.
Yeah.
And ended up at a company called I won't say that name.
Are we doing that this episode?
Right, there you go. Yeah, I will not give them any credit.
Yep.
Okay. But that's where I met Fernando.
Oh, yes. Okay. I am aware of the company. Yes.
Yeah, you're aware of the company.
Okay,
there you go. Yeah. Met Fernando there. And I tell you what, we just developed an awesome relationship. And here we are today.
Yeah, so Fernando obviously has taken a step back from selling as much. And so given Fernando's relationship with you and also with Chelsea, I guess you guys, I don't know if you want to speak on it, but you did sell them their first home.
Yeah,
so,
I don't know if we were there yet, but yes.
Yeah. So that's kind of how the Chelsea-Shawn partnership joined together. So tell me a little bit about that. You guys working together to find Chelsea and Fern's home. Now, Chelsea and Fern have a very specific style. It's all Miami, all the time.
All Miami, all the time.
White.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So that's a little bit of a tough find in Charlotte, North Carolina. So tell me about working together, finding your home.
Yeah. So they reached out to me, I believe sometime in August of 2021. Yeah, we were still masked up. Well, I was masked up, and they were just having fun, enjoying their life. Like I should have been anyway. But, so we met at a couple of properties. They wanted something waterfront. So this is where we started. We saw, a good home. We saw a really bad home. And then we kind of just stopped for a moment. And Fernando and Chelsea went to New York, I believe. Yep. And just out of the blue, I get a phone call from Fernando. Hey, we found this house. Can you go see it? And I'm like, what? Go do what?
That's so funny.
Yeah. So I went and saw this house for them. Not too far from here, as a matter of fact. Beautiful home.
Yep.
Okay. Found this home and went and recorded it. And lo and behold, they wanted to put an offer in. It's like, they're crazy.
I feel like I remember this happening. Like,
Did
I
you
feel
really?
like I remember them being like, our realtor, like, we found this home and he's going to look at it. And I feel like, was there like a short turnaround? Like, that was like, you got to go now.
Right now.
He went the next we were sitting on my mom's couch. I'm so sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead,
this is
please.
just a crazy story. And like this lines up from like our perspective when this was happening. We were sitting on my mom's couch up in New York. It was right after Christmas. Literally a day after Christmas. And we were talking about houses again. We were telling my mom we were looking, and Fernando just whips out his phone. He's like, I'm going to see what's available. And he's like, hey, Chelsea, this just came back on the market like 2 days ago. Do you want to go see it? And I'm like, why is it priced so low?
Always a
Right.
good question. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
but like my first immediate thought was like, that is not going to sit on the market for very long.
No.
We're not going to be back in North Carolina for a few days. Like, if we don't put an offer on that tomorrow morning, it's gone. And it was. Well, almost was.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah.
You were over there at like what, 9 in the morning?
9 a.m., yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We looked at it on FaceTime. My mom got to like, she kind of met you on FaceTime,
Yeah, she
which was
did.
very
Yeah,
cool.
she did. Yeah,
So she's
that's
like,
right.
hey, and we got to
Yeah.
see it, and him and I looked at each other, and he's like, "Do you want to do it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like I really like it. Let's do it."
Yeah.
And
Right.
I'll let you.
Yeah,
Take
so
it from
no,
there.
okay, no. So look, we submitted this offer, right? And the guy calls back and says, "Yeah, okay, we'll accept." Right? I mean, there was a couple of negotiation going on. Then he calls me back, and he's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, we just got another offer. We think we're going to take that one instead." And no, you're not.
Yeah. No.
No, you're not. As a matter of fact, you're going to sign my offer right now.
Can I tell them the text?
Yeah,
you
go
sent?
ahead. Yeah,
I tell this story. This is relevant, and hopefully it tees up nicely for the rest of the podcast, because I tell this story to every single client Shawn sends me that calls me. I'm like, listen, I need you to know, like, this isn't just my business partner. Like, this dude's a dog and he'll fight for
Yeah.
you.
Yes.
He sent this other agent a text and said, sign my shit. Literally verbatim, sign my shit. And then he
Yes.
sent us a screenshot of the conversation after everything was signed. And like, when I say like Shawn handles business before it even comes to you,
Yeah.
Yes.
this is the dude you want to work with.
Yes, I appreciate that. But I think during that time, though, is when, Chelsea and I really developed a relationship.
Yeah.
Just kind of talking to her throughout the process. Fernando was off and, doing his thing, looking at the house, and, and Chelsea and I would be talking to each other. But I realized, I think, at that moment that she really cared
Yep.
about what she was doing. She cared about clients. And for me, that was important to me. Having somebody that I knew was going to work for my clients.
Yeah.
And she has just been amazing to work with. Yeah, you have. You've been
Thank
awesome. So
I have said on the last episode, and the kind of whole point of this is to get to know these partnerships and how they develop. And obviously, you guys are full of lots of knowledge as well, so you get to share that on the podcast. But it's always interesting to see how loan officer and realtor come together. And for sure, your relationship started with Fernando, but as his mind and duties went elsewhere, it's great to hear that Chelsea and you have developed your own kind of energy together, and things
Yeah.
are working out.
they are. One thing that I really, really love that I really didn't get from any other person I've ever worked with, not even Fernando.
Oh, Fernando.
I mean,
He's gonna listen to this.
he's the third best salesperson I know. Chelsea being number 2.
No.
Listen, Chelsea is a little
me being number
sneaky
1.
salesperson.
Yeah,
I've
she
never
is.
heard her on the phone once.
Really?
No,
But
she's so
closing
quiet.
those deals.
Yeah, she's just
Yeah.
over like pacing in the corner.
Mhm.
Very,
Yeah.
very quiet.
Everybody says
But she's
that.
always prompt. If I send her a lead, typically I just text it to her, and she's on it. Boom, calls them. The clients, when I talk to them after they talk to her, I said client.
Oh,
I wonder how many times we've actually.
I don't know.
I'll take a.
That's one. I'll take 2.
The pre-show got my first beer down.
Yeah.
Um,
So she, they always tell me they had a great conversation with her. They love her. I'm like, what is she telling these people? Like, what is really going on here? But what I also like about it is that she also sends me updates.
Yeah.
That's what the other people don't do.
mhm.
I get a very thorough update from her about where they are, what was going on, email, text message. Like, she's just on top of her. Can I say shit?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She's on top of her shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I really appreciate that as a broker.
Yeah.
Just knowing that my folks are being taken care of, they're not being pushed to the back of the pile. I mean, you guys have an amazing company, so you're doing a lot of business. So I know she's getting leads in, and still, she treats my people like they're the only people that she's working with.
There you go.
Clients,
You
clients,
say clients.
clients.
Yep.
Last episode, there's a solid 5 minutes where Tommy is trying not to say rates,
No.
and the way he comes up with it
Oh,
is
that is
so great.
funny.
I was
No.
like, thank God. But I
That's
love that.
hilarious.
So obviously we did kind of jump ahead a little bit. to your partnership. But no, it's fine. It's totally fine. This is a conversation. We're being natural, loosey goosey. The outline is there to keep us, not diverting about who knows what, which I will do. Which the outline's for me really, because I'll just talk to you about nothing all day, which is why I'm hosting a podcast. But let's get into a little bit about your favorite parts of the job that you have. And I always like to ask favorite part and least favorite part, so you can decide which one you want to give me first.
Yeah, you want to go first?
Okay. Wow, that is a loaded question. I think just because I have the answer that I give, like when my family members ask, because I don't think my family like fully understands what I do for a living. Like
you're telling me.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody in this industry can relate, but when your family's just trying to I just want to make conversation with you. I don't fully know what you do, but I'm just gonna ask a blanket question, and they're like, "So how are the rates?" And I'm like, how much time do you have? I don't know.
Right.
But no, I mean, this question's come up a lot over the years. 2 years? I've been here 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
I think the most rewarding, I guess, my favorite part about this job is the impact it really has on people's lives. And we can get into this kind of when we talk more about the social media, but people, they have this connotation about sales individuals that's not always accurate. And yes, I have a pretty extensive sales background. I had a kiosk in the mall. I hustled hair straighteners. I was the girl that you walk by and I was like, "Hey miss, can I talk to you for a second?" I was that girl. And I've done it all.
Layers.
Just hair straighteners?
Just hair straighteners.
Okay. Did you ever do the massages?
No, but I did. It was part of our script to tell people that the hair straighteners had infrared technology, which is night vision. And hair straighteners definitely.
Can I still have? Do you have any of those in stock or?
No, I don't even have access to the company. That was probably 10 years ago. I was 21, but so I've done it all, and I will say, working in the mortgage industry and this particular type of sales, you really are changing people's lives. You're either helping somebody buy their first home, or you're helping them, make home improvements, the fun stuff. But I've had clients where you actually do save this person from crazy financial situations, and it's not to make a quick buck. It's there's a lot of laws in place, obviously, that don't allow us to do things that are shady. So when people have this weird mentality about sales, I'm like, it's not about that. But you're actually impacting people's future. And, it is really heartwarming to get those calls from clients where they're like, "I just want you to know, what you did, this hour-long conversation with, you helped me do X, Y, Z. And, I put my kids through college. I, paid off all this debt I was never going to be able to, take care of. And that makes me feel good." I will say the tough part of this job, obviously, it is a commission job.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
One of the beautiful things about it is you decide your pay. Again, I will not mention the company I work for in New York, but one of the things that really disenchanted me with them is they kept telling me, "You'll never make more than X because you don't have a degree." I never finished college, putting that on the record. I went for a million years and I never finished. But they always kept telling me, "Until you get this, you'll never get Y."
Right.
And I didn't really subscribe to that. And Fernando was actually the first person that told me, "You can make whatever you want. It's all about how hard are you willing to work." And I had a goal set for myself that I wanted to hit before I turned 30. I was 31, but I hit that goal last year, and I hit it with PrimeLine Capital.
Woo-hoo, that's awesome. Soundbite.
I did. I cried. I shared it with my parents. I shared it with Fernando's parents, and I won't say the dollar amount, but I had this ridiculous goal for my 20s, and I hit it with PrimeLine because somebody looked at me and said, "You can make whatever you think you're worth." But the market shifts. It's tough, and this market has been a little rocky, but we're gonna get through it. And I think the people that with their hearts in the right place and you can stick it out, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah. So, Shawn, let's talk about your favorite and least favorite parts.
Yeah, so my favorite part is working with first-time home buyers. So when I got into real estate, it took off immediately. And it did so because I targeted first-time home buyers. What I didn't know when I got started was that a lot of these first-time home buyers had actually applied for loans before and got denied.
Yeah.
And a lot of them didn't even know they could buy homes.
Mhm.
So I was doing a ton of consultations with people that didn't think they could ever buy a home. So my very first sale, was a young lady that wanted to buy a home, didn't know she could buy a home. Even she got her pre-approval letter from Fernando and still didn't think that it was a real thing.
Yeah.
Right? So the look on her face the day of closing, I knew then this is for me.
Yeah.
This is for me. And then the kids, when I work with people that have children,
For sure.
to see the kids run through the house and picking out their bedroom,
Mm-hmm.
almost always the primary bedroom is
Yeah.
theirs.
Yeah. That master
this is my room. It's like, no, it's not. Right? But just to see the kids running through the house and, a lot of them never having lived in a home before,
Sure.
it's just, to me, it's just the best feeling ever to see that. Now don't get me wrong, listeners out there. I like second-time home buyers, 100-time home buyers,
Investors,
sellers,
yeah.
investors. I love y'all too, but that wasn't the question. But yes, I that's the part I really love. Just really closing day. People would think it, for the money. Money's great.
Yeah.
But for me, it's really about seeing the faces of those people when they get to close. It's just an amazing feeling to get through that process because it can fall apart, at so many different places along the way.
Yeah.
So to see it all the way through, to me, it's just amazing.
So I think we worked together on an event a while back, and we had a
Yes.
stat about you that was like 80 plus transactions. So I think that was 2021.
Yes, 2021.
How many of
Yep.
those do you think were new to first time home buyers?
Oh gosh. So I can tell you now that 55 of those were buyers.
Right.
The rest were sellers.
Sellers. Okay.
Yep. And out of that, probably 90% of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what's happened is that, I've got a nice heavy social media presence. So people see that I work with buyers and, their friends will say, wait a minute, you bought a house? Give me his phone number.
Yeah.
Like if you can buy a house, man, I can buy a house too.
Yeah.
So a lot of times there's first time home buyers that have, and we'll kind of talk about this later with Chelsea. One of the reasons I really like working with Chelsea too. But yeah, a lot of these folks are first time home buyers and, they're not always ready, but
Yeah.
they come in and get the right information they need to move forward. And so, yeah, it's pretty awesome.
So least favorite part?
The hours.
Yeah.
There's no time off,
Yeah.
hardly ever. Can I have two least favorite things?
Of course. Of course. This is all about the tea here. So yeah, let's give me the dirt.
The tea.
Yeah, and the lead generating.
Yeah.
I think that, and this is for all the other real estate people that are thinking about being in real estate or already in real estate. Most people don't think that they've got to go out and lead generate.
Yep.
Like people aren't just going to come to you. So when I got my license, I couldn't get any business initially, right? Well, one day I was coming home from that place where we worked, and I was driving past the Harris Teeter, and I saw the Girl Scouts out there, peddling their little cookies, and I just light bulb, bing, if the Girl Scouts can stand in front of Harris Teeter, I can too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I started standing in front of Harris Teeter with my business cards after work and in front of Food Lion. Yeah, that's the part I really hated is the lead gen.
Yeah.
But thankfully, we'll talk about social media later.
Yeah.
Social media later.
Yeah.
Later, however you say that.
The lead gen part is something we talked about last episode too, is I think a lot of people forget that like you have to be able to market yourself. Like this is like, if you're not a person who's confident standing up and saying, I'm good at what I do and show, and especially now when we get into the social media part, like you're going to get lost. There's 100,000 plus real estate agents in Charlotte alone.
Indeed.
Yeah. How do you stand out? So I mean, I'm sure it's a grind and you feel like one of 100,000, but it is a huge part of making your stake in this industry is not anymore. Yeah. I was just saying, we'll get to that. I got some stats on that social media stuff.
Sure.
But I think that's so important too, because like I'm a huge Selling Sunset fan. If you follow me on Instagram, I talk about it all the time. I'm so fascinated by it, and I'm not on the real estate side, but like I love looking at real estate. I think everybody can kind of appreciate looking at a nice house. The show's got drama. It's fun. But I think like we've seen this huge wave of people like, oh, I can go do that. And you absolutely can. Like it's not to discourage anybody from getting on the lending or the real estate side, but like you got to know this is a 24 on both sides, loan officers and real estate agents. This is round the clock job. You're never not talking to clients. Like I have clients that call me at like 9 o'clock at night, and they want, and if there's a closing tomorrow, you can't ignore them.
Right,
You have to answer it.
Right.
And it's a lot. There's really high ups and there's really low downs. And you just I think TV glamorizes that a lot, and you kind of have to know like this is the actual side of what goes into it.
That's right.
Yeah, Selling Sunset has put, I think, a lot of.
Shout out Netflix. Or
No, right.
We talked about it last episode too. You guys better sponsor this podcast. I know. Selling Sunset. The unfortunate part, though, is we do use the time to talk about how unrealistic Selling Sunset is.
100%.
That you don't see the hustle and everything in the background. And same for very popular real estate agents in Charlotte. There's lots of them, Shawn included, that, you hear and you see them, but what you are not hearing and what you're hearing now is I used to stand outside of Harris Teeter and hand out business cards with the Girl Scouts. It's
right.
Shawn's like fighting his 6-year-old girls.
Yeah,
like,
getting run off by the sheriff. Like, hey, what are you doing? They're like, hey,
I'm just a realtor.
Yeah, you want a business card, sir? Right while I'm running to my car.
Yeah, a box of cookies and a consultation from Shawn. I mean, I'm in. All right, Shawn, so I know obviously you are a real estate agent. You said you've been in about 5 years, correct? Yes. So you are kind of taking a next step in this realtor game and starting your own brokerage. Woohoo! Correct?
Yes.
Yes, I said that right. Okay.
You did. I'm a broker in charge.
A broker in charge. That's a BIC.
BIC, baby.
And I am an HBIC, but they won't let me put in my email signature.
Really?
I know.
Man.
They asked me when I first started, a few months after I started, like, what do you want to be called? I was like, HBIC. And I think Brad still will, like, start emails to me with, like, HBIC come.
I like that.
Yeah, so BIC, though, that's actually more meaningful.
I like HBIC. Put that on my car.
Maybe, I was going to say, you get HBIC and you just put BIC in bold, and the H is not bold. Take notes. So tell me a little bit about that journey, where you're at in it.
Sure. So initially when I got into real estate, everybody told me to go to one of the big firms. I'll just say their color is red.
I already know. I can picture the letters.
And I went there because they had a really good training environment. And I think for me, it's what I needed. It was a missing piece, for real estate for me, because in real estate school, they don't teach you anything about selling houses. So I started there, but I always knew I wanted to work for myself. I'd always work for myself. I mean, always work for myself.
Al Bundy,
except for the military, right?
Yeah.
I've always been, pretty much self-employed. In that time, I worked with Fernando at that other place. But so I've got this entrepreneurial spirit, and I always knew I wanted my own firm. It's just a matter of when to do it. And I think there's a little bit of fear that came along with that as well, too. And I really thought about it. Man, I'm selling all these houses, year in and year out. And these companies are taking my money, but they're not really doing anything for me. Like, they're not giving me any clients. There's no leads being given. There's no training that I need at this point. So why am I giving them $20,000 a year for nothing?
Right.
So I made the decision last year that, I was going to open up my own firm this year. So here we are this year, and we are here.
And what is the name of that firm? Give it a plug.
Oh, it is the Queen City House Hunters.
Queen City House Hunters.
Queen City House Hunters, yes.
We're going to tag it, link it everywhere, so you won't be able to not see it. So
the goal and the plan is to build out the Queen City House Hunters from here. So right now we're just working on, getting the right infrastructure set up. I actually just told my old firm last week that I was leaving.
Oh, wow. Oh, so now it's full time. You can't go back now.
It is
happening.
Full time. As a matter of fact, I got my letter in the mail yesterday from North Carolina Real Estate Commission telling me that.
Oh, congrats.
I did not know that. Congrats. That's huge.
Yeah, that's a big
cheers to that. We
Yes.
should cheers, and we
we're going to cheers to that. Woohoo.
Also, I'm going to say clients.
Yes.
Woo.
Oh, you want to say clients? Yes. So and I had to tell all my clients up front that I was leaving so that I could take all my deals with me.
So you can take them.
Yeah.
Be like, I'm scooting over here.
Mhm.
So PrimeLine moved into our new headquarters in the end of May.
Yes.
And then soon after that, Fernando said, hey, Shawn's starting his own brokerage and is also just looking for a place to work. We have this big new fancy office with some available desks. So he has been setting up shop here. And it's been nice to have you in-house.
Thank you.
You bring a great energy. You're always recording videos. Again, we'll get to Shawn's videos. But it's just cool to have somebody on the other side of the aisle kind of in-house. And I don't know how often. Obviously, I'm not a loan officer. I make that disclaimer every episode. I am not.
But you could be, because I've definitely heard you read the script before.
I could get. Well, the joke is that we're gonna get me drunk and see how far into a deal I can get.
Close
Oh
a
my
pitch.
God.
Yeah.
There will be a point where I'm like, I gotta go because
Oh
I don't
my-
know what I'm talking about. But
No.
I assume that you are there as a resource as well for loan officers, and I've heard you
Mhm.
kind of shouting across the office at like different people
Yes.
about sending business. So
Yes.
definitely a really fun energy to have you in house. So what are you kind of looking for brokers to join your team? Have you had any join yet?
So the kind of agents that I like are really self-motivated.
Yeah.
Right? You know why you're in this business. You know why you want to do this business. And I don't care if they're money motivated either.
Yeah.
If that's all you're about is the money, great. We're going to be ethical.
Yeah.
Right? I believe
Yeah.
in ethics. You got to tell the truth. You got to be honest, loyal. All those things. Right?
Right.
Not loyal to me, to your clients. though,
Yeah.
Right. Making sure that they get what they need. I like people like that. I like hungry, motivated people. You want to get your real estate license, Chelsea? No, I'm just kidding. Like,
As Fernando.
you're a go-getter. Yeah.
I just can't work weekends.
See?
I work weekends from my phone, but I can do that anywhere.
This
in the
girl's got to go
country.
Miami.
I know.
She's in Miami
I'm
every
in
other
Miami.
weekend.
Yeah, but you know what? But that's a really good point, though. Like, you'd be surprised how many agents don't want to work. I had an agent tell me,
Yeah.
I don't work on the weekends. What do you mean?
Yeah.
You don't want to be a real estate agent?
Yeah. This
let
is
me
not
be-
the career path for
Let
you.
me be clear. I
What?
work
No, we know you
24/7,
do.
but I can do it from anywhere in the
Mhm.
country. I don't
Yeah.
have to
Yeah, you gotta go to showings.
Right.
It doesn't fit my
Yeah.
current
Right.
lifestyle. Not
Yeah.
to say it won't in the future. I'm just saying right now.
So we
And I would say for like agents that are like thinking about switching brokerages, right?
Mhm.
Not to come work with me, but I think the synergy, right? Being here with you guys, Brad will come over and ask me questions about real estate
Yep.
and the market and things like that. I've got my favorite lending partner like right here with me.
Yep.
That I can go and ask questions or shoot a text message. Hey, we see each other, so like we know we're working.
Yeah.
Right. We can see it. There's a relationship, and I think that even. I hate to say, maybe we should have said Fernando would drink.
This is the drinking game.
That-
like,
We can change it.
We can switch it.
yeah. I just
Fernando.
It's your rules, Court. It's your podcast.
Yeah,
Do you
I
want to
just-
switch it?
because I said.
Oh,
his
I
name
don't.
again.
It's not my rules. Listen, Fernando, we'll add it in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so, but one day, you mentioned Dwayne a second ago. Dwayne was on a phone call, and I think I had just left, but he was on a phone call. He was over there fighting with this for sale by owner, like trying to get through, to get this appointment. Well, he didn't get that one, but the very next phone call he had coming in, Fernando gave the guy coaching right before the call, right?
I remember this.
Yeah.
I was.
You were right there.
I'm here
Yeah.
every day, but yeah.
But yeah, Fernando tells this guy, hey, you know what? Try this instead.
Yeah.
Right? Dwayne calls me up and was like, you're not going to freaking believe this. And I was like, what happened? He was like, man, Fernando is as good as you said he was.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, he's not that good.
Yeah, we love having Queen City house hunters in the house. Hopefully, maybe we can get you a neon sign eventually. We got a lot of neon signs in the office.
Yes.
And yeah, if you're interested in being a broker, don't reach out to Shawn because he's too busy. Just keep an eye on his Instagram. And yeah, don't be
Yes.
lazy because it sounds like, no lazy
No
is what we
lazy.
want. Self-motivated.
Yes.
You better be outside of Harris Teeter with Shawn.
Yeah.
So anytime I call a client that you send
Mhm.
me, at some point in the conversation, I say, by the way, like, how'd you get connected with Shawn? I'm just curious because, like, he was our realtor. I just want to know. And they're like, 9 times out of 10, it was either a friend of a friend or they're like, oh, I saw him on YouTube. And I'm like, what the? Of course, like, on the call, I'm like, I know. He's the man. But in the back of my head, I'm like,
What?
Did he do? I'm not doing.
It's wild.
Oh man.
I was checking out your channel today, and I was like, how, like, it's just excellent thumbnails. You've
Thank
got
you.
the thumbnails down, which
took a long time.
we're gonna work on. Yeah, and I think just consistency as well. But
Yes.
yeah, let's get into it. Chelsea's also consistently on TikTok. You're known for doing your dub videos. We always share her content on our page. It's
Love
hilarious. It's so funny. It's a lot of inside baseball. So for any brokers or real estate agents out there who are looking to just, make fun of what you do, Chelsea's amazing at it.
I'm really not looking for clients on TikTok.
No.
I'm like, this is a community, and I just want to
We'll have some fun.
It's
we
a
have
little bit
our
of
pain
therapy.
points. Like, if you're in the industry and you want to joke about it, one of my really close friends, she's actually one
No.
of my bridesmaids. She'll message me and she'll be like, "Your content is really good. I just don't get it.
I don't get it.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's funny, but like I don't know what any of that stuff means. I'm like, it's fine. It's for a really niche group of
my
people.
God.
Yeah.
but that's okay.
Initially, I started with Facebook. I was just doing house tours and just walking through and just really trying to make myself known, right?
Mhm.
This is where the Queen City House Hunter came from. I was just doing a video one day. I was like, oh, yeah, hey, guys, it's Shawn Gerald, the Queen City House Hunter.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Queen City House Hunter. Hey, I like that.
It's catchy, yeah.
I was like, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just doing the videos there. So, anyway, one day, one of my home inspectors, God bless him. I owe him the rest of my life. He comes to me one day and says, hey, do you know this agent? And I won't name him so my people are here to go looking for him. Yeah, but do you know this agent? He's on YouTube. And I was like, no, I don't know him. I don't even watch YouTube. And I was like, people watch YouTube? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, man, like he's on YouTube. And every home inspection I'm doing for this guy, right? They come from YouTube. And I'm like, no way. He's like, yeah, no, yeah. So anyway, I went out there, looked the guy up, and I was like, wait a minute. This guy bit my style.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I'm doing, right? And I was like, get out of here. Yeah, so I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to put a video on YouTube. And it's going to go viral. I'm better than that guy. And it took 2 years,
Yeah.
probably a year and a half, before I got my first phone call on YouTube. But I just kept putting up videos. But what happened was, this guy, TJ, this home inspector, kept telling me to do it. I didn't do it. And during the pandemic, probably March, April after lockdown, my lovely wife was just watching YouTube all day. And I was like, why are you watching YouTube? Like, what are these people talking about, And I finally sat down and listened to this girl talk about makeup and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. But when the video went off, I saw she had 50,000 subscribers. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
People are watching this shit?
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, whoa. So I immediately uploaded a video to YouTube.
Yeah.
And again, it took a while, but I got my first call from YouTube in September of 2020, had to be.
Wow.
And man, it was so funny because I almost wrecked my car. I was, yeah. I'm like, hello, this is Shawn. She's like, oh yeah, this is Naya. And I was like, Naya, oh hey Naya, how you doing? She's like, man, I'm watching your video on YouTube. YouTube! I know. I'm driving down 85, almost wrecked. I was like, ma'am, did you say YouTube? And she was like, yeah, I'm moving to Charlotte and I want to buy a house. I don't think I heard anything else. I was like, damn, she called me from YouTube.
I made it.
That is amazing. You're like, I'm going to have to call you back. I need a moment to just be like,
yeah.
YouTube.
I know, man. So that's how I got to YouTube, though, was
Yeah.
TJ. And I tell you what, it's just very thankful that I did.
Yeah. I mean, that is incredible. And how frequently
Mhm.
do you post? I know you posted a few days ago. I was checking it out this morning.
Probably twice a week.
Twice a week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. With the new shorts that they're doing now on YouTube, you can post there anytime.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing now is just kind of repurposing my videos, old ones, new ones,
Mhm.
splicing them up into 9-second clips,
Mhm.
putting them in YouTube Shorts, and letting them run. And
So
It's
how
been
is that
awesome.
translated over to TikTok? Because I know now you're on TikTok.
yeah, so I didn't like TikTok at all,
Yeah.
and
I'm not a fan either.
Yeah, and I won't say that I like it now, but I understand that to do business and to be seen, this is where people are. I would say mostly young people,
Yeah.
are on TikTok. So I just felt that I had to start using that platform.
Right.
And for a long time, I was getting no views, nothing.
Yeah.
And I had this one video. I hate to say how many views it got, but somebody next to me got 400,000. So I won't tell how many little views it had, but it had some views, and I start saying, okay, there's some value here.
Yeah.
Still haven't had a sale from TikTok. I've had some consultations, but no sales yet from there. But still posting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Chelsea, obviously, you are primarily on TikTok. You do a lot of the trending sounds and that kind of thing. So, again, we talked you're more inside baseball. You don't really do anything from clients, but what's been your experience using TikTok and posting? And are you getting anything? You getting any back and forth, or just you feel like it's something fun that gets your name out there?
I think so. I mean, my Facebook is almost like non-usable. My Instagram, I keep it very personal. I mean, people know what I do on there, but I don't really advertise a lot of stuff. TikTok has kind of been my outlet for business only. And the sound, I don't know, voiceovers, what would you even call that?
Yeah.
I don't know. They seem to be easy, and I know like a lot of people that are kind of like, I don't like being on camera, blah, blah, blah. Like, I feel like that's a really easy way to get into it. And you just kind of, memorize. It's like a 10-second clip. And it, I don't know. I just think it's fun, and it was kind of playful, and it started out that way. But to answer your question, I have not generated any business off of that, but it never was intended to be that in the beginning. It was more just like, I just want to share what I do with people. I genuinely like talking about what I do for a living, and like even sometimes with Shawn, I'll, follow up with him after he sends me a client. I'm like, hey, I just got off the phone with him. I talked to him for about an hour and a half. He's like, an hour and a half? What were you talking about? And I'm like, what? First time home buyer? Like, I just, you just shooting the shit. And, like, I want to get to know them. I want to find out. So for TikTok, it was a way to do that with people I don't know personally.
Yeah.
And really just kind of, like, connect with other industry members and just say, hey, like, we're all in this together. This is a funny part about this job. Like, maybe you can relate to this. Like, maybe this falls across the lap of somebody that's like, you know what? I had a client that said the same thing to me. I had a client, I shit you not. This older lady, I actually made a TikTok about it, and I think I'm going to make a series about this. Like, the craziest things I've ever heard from clients. But I called her. She was lead, and, we're talking about her situation. She's like, my husband died a year ago, and if I could have, I would have shot that son of a bitch myself. And I'm like, oh my God, ma'am, you are on a recorded line.
This is Chelsea on a recorded
line. I know that does not incriminate you, but oh my God.
Oh my God.
So, like, I've heard a lot of crazy things, but no, what it's done for me is it's connected me to this community that I wouldn't have gotten a chance to connect with. In that video that went viral, I had a ton of comments. People just asking questions like, I want to buy a house. What does this mean? Or I'm studying to get my license. And one of the most, I think, rewarding things is I had a TikTok video that I put out over a year ago. It was last summer. It was really quick. It was with a trending sound, and it was just like, what's the difference between working for a mortgage brokerage versus working for a bank as a broker, quote unquote. I'm not, 100% sure how they do that, but I kind of just listed, like, here's the different credentials you need for this. Here's how you do this. And somebody commented on it a month ago, and they said, hey, this is the video that made me go get my mortgage broker license.
Oh,
and
cool.
it almost made me cry. I'm like, wow, all right, like, it's one person.
Yeah.
But I impacted somebody's life. Yeah. And I started up a conversation with this girl, and she was like, no, it actually changed my life. And, I went after this thing I never thought I was going to do. But it's opened up a forum for those kind of conversations. Yeah. And to me, that's where I see the value.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. On the videos that you find that have brought you business, what is the kind of, what is that content? Is that you doing a home tour? Is that you educating? Uh-oh. You don't want to get into it?
That's the McDonald's.
Oh, that's the secret sauce. Just kidding, you guys.
No, I'm just kidding. You know what? I see a lot more people. You know what? Last year I wouldn't have told you this, but I'll tell you this year because I see a lot more people now on TikTok and Instagram. I mean, unfortunately, social media is wide open. So real estate agents start following me probably 2 years ago, and now I'm seeing these same agents do the exact videos. Yeah. Yeah. I think I messed up when I put that post up in January of this year that I did 88 transactions and what my volume was.
Yeah.
And and someone asked me, why did you post that? Like, do you know that people are going to start doing what you do to get business? And I'm telling you, all of a sudden, my timeline was full of video.
Really?
Yeah, I was really shocked. I was like, what the hell did I just do? Why did I do that? Yeah, but it's home tours.
Yeah.
You know, people on YouTube want to see home tours. They want to see home tours. They want to know about Charlotte. You know, people do, you know, stats videos and things like that. Mm-hmm. Do those kind.
Do the stat videos, everybody.
Yeah, do market updates. Those are the best. Wink, wink.
You can't see them on camera, but you will on YouTube.
Yeah, right. But no, the house tours are my bread and butter. I mean, you know, I go to different communities. You know, I focus a lot on new construction.
Yep.
Because I found, you know, not before, you know, I did after during the pandemic, when things got really tight in the marketplace and, you know, a lot of multiple offers and things like that. Mm-hmm. You know, new construction was initially the easiest route to go without a lot of friction.
Sure.
Eventually it got the same way. But, you know, just built a lot of relationships and people that are moving from out of state. Mm-hmm. They want to know about Charlotte, you know, not just market stats and, you know, how many houses on the market and all that, you know, mumbo jumbo. They want to know how many bedrooms does that have?
Yeah.
You know, what is the neighborhood like? What are the schools over here, right?
I never even considered the out-of-state, you know, aspect of it. And most of the people moving to Charlotte are from out of state.
Yeah.
So anything else you guys want to touch on social media as far as advice for people looking to get into it, people who are maybe scared to get into it?
I would say just do it. You know, I think for me, when I started doing video back in, I think that my first video in April of 2018. Mm-hmm. And I remembered the video because I didn't mean to go live. Okay. Yeah, I was on Facebook. And as a matter of fact, I was doing a video with another friend of mine from that same place that we all worked.
Yeah.
Okay. He and I were doing a video. He started a credit repair company. Mm-hmm. And we were going to just do a video on our phones. And I said, you know what? Let's do one live on Facebook. He's like, are you out of your damn mind? You know, yes. So I'm screwing around with him. Hit the live thing 2 times by mistake.
Oh, no.
Yeah, hit the first time for real, but the second time, I was just messing around with the phone, hit live, and I looked and that little red thing was like live, and I was like, oh shit, we're on, right? Well, we just kind of played it off, went live, did the video, and I found when we were done, the video was recorded sideways. Yeah, so it was unwatchable, really. Yeah. Like you had to turn your phone, like every time you turn your phone, the video would, you know, so. Yeah. But it had 1,000 views, the very first one. And I was like, wait a minute, 1,000 people watch that shit? Like, are you kidding me? So I guess my advice would be like, just don't worry about what people are thinking. You can get out of your own head, get out of your way, hit the record button, and you'd be surprised that people will watch your content. Even now, today, you know, I still sometimes, like when I hit record or live, you know, I'm like, you know, I had to pump myself up. I was telling myself jokes and shit, you know, like, you know, just kind of get myself pumped up, and then I hit live, and I was laughing before I hit live or whatever, so that way when the camera came on, I was already smiling.
Like Shawn said, just do it. Like people respect the organic aspect of things way more than like a polished, clean video because it's not attainable and it's not relatable.
Right.
And just, I mean, Shawn and Fernando and I have been we've, you know, gone and done house tours where, you know, the purpose of it was to film content.
Right.
And it's
you guys did a great job, by the way.
Thank you. That was so much fun. But I mean, like, you know, gearing up for that, you're like, oh, what are we going to say? And it's kind of like people don't need the clean, polished version. They want to see a house. They want to see real people that are relatable. Like there's, you know, there's people that have billboards and, you know, like a lot of heavy marketing in this area. And that's great. Like they are going to get a very certain type of demographic and they're going to do a lot of business. But that doesn't mean everybody has to do it. Right. You know what I mean? Like there's some people that are going to be shy and won't pick up the phone because they're like, that person's never going to answer me. They're so big. And it's like, you can be both at the same time. Right. You can be, you know, the very successful, like I have a big presence, but also I'm relatable and I make mistakes and I go live on accident.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that's the best way to connect with people.
Yeah. Well, and part of this podcast is a great way to show that like you guys are real people. You're, you hear crazy stuff, and we're gonna get into that in just a second. Actually, next. So it's fun to see personalities. It's fun to know that you're gonna do some stuff that annoys your real estate agent, and that's okay. And we're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna laugh, and we're gonna have some drinks, and that's part of it. So yeah, I totally agree. I'm always on the side of being real. Mess up your live, whatever you gotta do. Just do it. Yeah, just do it. So
just do it. Yep.
Let's talk crazy clients.
Okay.
This is my most fun thing. And I hope you have some stories for me.
Boy.
Yeah?
Do I.
Craziest client you've ever had. And that can be behavior. It can be the weirdest thing you've ever seen in their house. I'm going to let you guys run this one.
Yeah. I'm actually selling this gentleman's house right now. I sold him a home, the same home, back in 2020, as a matter of fact. Yeah, 2020 I sold him his house. Well, I met him at a convention. Well, actually, he was at a real estate convention with some other lenders and real estate agents. I wasn't supposed to be there. I heard about the conference, so I was just outside.
With those business cards?
With my business cards. Yeah, they ran me off, too.
Girl Scouts are here. It's my time to shine.
That's incredible.
Yep, they ran me off, too. But not before I picked up 3 clients.
There you go.
Yep. So anyway, the first time we're out, right, this guy, okay, he is... I'm 5'11", 255 pounds, This guy is 5'4", probably, 150, 60 pounds, right? So we're in this really nice home, and his kids are running around. He's got custody of his kids. Great guy, right? But he has trust issues. Yes. So he waited until his kids were all gone. And he and I were just standing in the kitchen by ourselves, right? He walks up to me, and I want to say nose to nose, right? But, his forehead to my chin.
Courtney's like, I'm scared.
And he looks up at me, and he says, I just want to let you know that if you screw me over, I'm going to kill you. Yes. And I was like, what'd you say? I'm sorry I didn't mean to drop the F-bomb.
No, that's okay. We'll bleep it out.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
We'll bleep it out. We'll bleep it out.
But this is what he said to me. And I was like, man,
you're quoting somebody, so you have to.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about? And he was like, you know what? I don't trust you. I'm only doing this with you because, you're the only real estate agent that I know.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Gee.
Yes.
Does Desert Storm mean anything to you?
I know, right?
Yeah, I was going to say.
And I was like, man, I can't believe. So this went on for about 5 minutes of him intimidating me, letting me know that if I screwed him over, if I tried to steal his money, if I did anything to harm him and his family, that he knew where I lived, where I worked, and that he was going to make sure that he punished me for it. Yeah, this was our very first time out showing homes.
Oh, my!
And when I left him, I got in the car. I said, "Man, I don't think I'm going to work with this guy." Yeah, I don't think so. But
I think you should have filed a police report.
Yeah, I know, but you know what though, man? Like he was such a nice guy up to that point. That, I was like, you know what, I wanted another sale.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like I want another transaction. So I kept working with him, and we developed a great relationship though. But even now in selling his home, right? Same thing. Yeah. I mean, like, and I can show you the text message.
I am mouth agape. You can't see it because of the pop filter, but I'm like,
I can show you the text message. He calls me and says, "Hey, I want you to sell my home. I know other real estate agents."
Now I know a few more.
Yeah, I know others. He said, but like you I've got trust issues. You didn't screw me over the first time, so I'm going to let you do it. But like if you screw this up and you screw me over, like we're going to have a problem. Like we're going to have a problem. And I'm reading this text message, and I called him up and I said, "Hey man, like, you still don't trust me? Like we've gone out and had a beer together. We've gone to the gun range together now. Like, and you're.
I don't know if I would have gone to a gun range with a gentleman like that, but okay.
Well, listen. After we sold the home,
who was the better shot?
Else. Me, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, me. Yeah, but yeah, he threatened me again while selling his home. God. Yeah, he sure did. Well, we're closing next week. Thank God. It's almost over. Yes.
Would you do business with him again?
Yes.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. I would. And listen, you know the odd thing, man. I like him. Like, and a part of me understands.
Quirky people, like, kind of relates. You're like,
Yeah, I kind of understand him.
I
Like,
get it.
yeah, I do get it. I mean, unfortunately, he's, pointing that at me, but I understand his fear. Real estate agents, for those of you that don't know, like we're one of the least trusted people in the world.
It's like lawyers, contractors,
Life insurance.
Yeah,
life insurance,
right.
Realtors.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, rats, cats, rabbit, dogs, and then real estate agents.
No, I'm kidding. There's actually some very, very reputable life insurance people. That was it's a stereotype. I'm playing it in the stereotype.
Shout out Jared at Goosehead. We love you.
Hey,
but
Jared,
no,
hey,
also
yes.
like in our family, and there are some people that
gosh,
they
cut off.
want to do good work and they care, and it's very obvious by their social media posts and everything. I gotta God, stick a mic in front of me and I'm gonna
Here we go.
Look at you.
That I love that story about a man threatening your life ended with, and we're closing next week.
Yeah, I know. Yes, yeah, second time.
So
Queen City House.
Yeah, I know, right, Queen? We're patient.
oh my
We
God,
are patient.
Chelsea, what you got?
Oh man.
Other than the little old lady saying she was gonna shoot her husband,
That was
which is a good one.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I've had a couple. It's obviously a little bit different on the lending
Right,
side
yeah.
because it's all phone conversations,
Yes.
which
Yes.
are recorded, by the way. I've just had some people like admit weird things to me and say weird things over the phone, but I did have this one. I think this was like a year ago. Every conversation with him was like 30 minutes long, and he would just divulge his entire situation. He's like, "Hey, I'm looking to take some cash out. My wife's divorcing me. She's a bleep, 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 and she's been cheating on me for this." I'm like, I'm really not paid to know that. It's not. It doesn't really impact my ability to help you, but no, he went really, really into detail with all of the stuff, and he was one of those people talk super fast, which. From New York, I kind of talk fast too. No judgment there, but just something seemed off from the beginning, and he just seemed really manic. And then we had talked on and off for a few weeks. We had multiple phone conversations, probably 10 conversations at this point. He wouldn't let me pull credit, which that seems like a weird
part. Yeah.
It seems like a weird thing to say, if you're not in the industry, but that is part of if you get a loan, you do have to eventually get to that.
Unfortunately, they're gonna want to check your
security number. Yeah, no, but he just was really weird about it. And then the final time I ever talked to him on the phone, I called him hey, so and so, just following up. Did you still want to move forward with this? And he said, yeah, actually, I've researched your company, and I think you guys are fraudulent, so I've reported you personally and your NMLS number to all 3 credit bureaus as being a fraudulent person. I was like, okay, well, this is my first time having that said to me, so of course, I'm half in tears. He, blocked my number, whatever.
I actually remember you bringing this up to me because you were like, hey, what do we do if somebody is reporting us as fraud? And I was like, well, we're not.
We're not.
So I don't think we do anything.
But as a new loan officer, of course.
They are not fraud.
We are not.
Not at
No,
all.
they're not.
Oh my God, check our Google reviews.
We are a real
ton
company.
of Google reviews. Yeah, I know, right?
But I
Jeez.
remember going up to Brad and Fernando, and I'm half in tears. I'm like, this guy said he's gonna report me for fraud, and Experian knows about it, and they're like, it's okay.
He's a crazy person.
On the street. Yeah, just don't call him again. It's fine. And I that really shook me. But I've definitely. It wasn't my client. But this is funny. It was actually somebody else I work with. They had an appraisal, and their appraisal report came back that they had a growing, I guess they were growing weed in their house.
Oh man,
what? So they had
natural growing operation in their home.
Something. There was a couple of the bedrooms where they had the grow tents. It was
What?
hydroponic, whatever. I'm not an expert. And there was these big tents with the fluorescent lighting.
Oh my God.
The appraiser's like,
Well, the lender, who is one of the top lenders in the country, very reputable, they were like, we can't accept this report because
Wow.
What state is it in?
a state where it's not legal.
Okay, I was gonna
forget.
say, I wonder if that. I
Yeah.
genuinely wonder if, like, on an appraisal report at this point and where we're at with that, does
It
does Rocket
wasn't-
consider if it's illegal or not?
It was
legal?
Right.
Rocket.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it was.
We'll
It's
bleep
fine.
that out.
Nothing. Yeah, it make it funnier.
Rocket.
But they're very reputable company. But I remember them going through it and them saying like this is not legal. Like we can't. And the client said I'm growing garlic.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Italian? Were they Italian or no? I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
What?
It's just a really bad Italian joke. I'm just kidding.
It
You're
landed.
funny.
This is the right audience. No, but I remember there was like this whole debacle again. Well, it's not my client, but I just happened to like kind of be privy to the information.
I heard this story floating around, so I'm
Well, I
glad you
saw
told
the
it because I couldn't
pictures.
remember who it was, and I was like, oh my gosh.
I saw the pictures. And I don't know how much I can say on this podcast, but like, I know.
Yeah, it was like a legit.
I know it's
like,
not when I see
Yeah.
one.
Well, there's no mistaking those tents
Follow me
in
on
your
Instagram.
home,
No.
right? Like, there's no other reason that
Right.
that is in your house.
No, but she did. I say she because it was the person that was communicating with the loan officer at the time. But she did have like a lot of weird garlic strands hanging from like the entire perimeter of her porch.
Maybe afraid of vampires.
That's
Could be.
I appreciate that. That's fine.
I appreciate-
Also, as an
A lot of
Italian, I
bloodsuckers out
love
there.
garlic. But no, it was just very weird. And like, she kind of had a legitimate case, but Rocket was like,
Nah.
We're not gonna touch
Like,
No.
so they made him like move all the tents off property, which was like
What?
probably 100 feet out. They had a lot of acreage, so it was probably
Wow.
like out to the back of the property, and the appraiser had to come back in and like take
Wow.
pictures of the entire house again.
Just empty rooms where
And I'm like,
grow lights are hanging.
you gotta know, like, even if you are on the up and up and everything's 100% innocent, you gotta know how weird that looks. Like, at least unzip the tent and show them, like, just so you know,
Right.
plenty of garlic in this house.
I'm
Right,
like
right.
flabbergasted that like that's a bold move to be like, yeah, just bring the appraiser in and not even like ask your real estate
Yeah.
agent. Like, you could be in confidence, like, hey, this is my situation. What do you recommend that I do?
Yeah.
Like,
Imagine the underwriter that gets the appraisal
Right.
report and is like, what's going on page 7?
Yeah, what is this?
we have taken a
Hmm.
left turn. I
The
will
guest
say,
bedroom.
our home doesn't get a lot of sunlight. It's one of the things I would like to fix when we move into our first home, but doesn't get a lot of sunlight, and I like to grow plants, and so I have a bunch of plants in our like main living room, and I bought a bunch of grow lights for our plants.
I know
But
a
when
guy.
you drive past the house at night, I was like, oh no! I was like, it looks like we're
An
doing
operation.
some stuff in there.
Oh, Lordy.
And I was like, it's just a fern. I swear, it's just a fern. It's just like a lily. I swear. I was like, would look like I have a whole full thing. I was like, the house doesn't get sun. So I like want to put a sign outside that's like, I'm just growing house plants
And
in here.
nothing says it's not illegal.
I got one more little
Yes,
funny
please,
little story, man. It's so, I tell you I love the kids,
Mhm.
Yeah, so anyway, I'm showing this house, and little kids are running around and having fun. Man, I actually did a TikTok on this one, man, because, like, to me, it was probably the funniest
Yeah.
thing that ever happened. Most painful things ever happened to me. I was showing that one too, though. Yeah, so the little kid, man, he's running around. So he's coming down the hallway, and I was like, "Did you pick your room?" And he was like, "Yes." So he running full speed. I got my hand up for a high five, right? And I'm bent down here, like waiting. And he's coming. And he swings. And he hit the wrong
Oh no.
thing.
No. You were recording?
No, I wasn't
Oh,
recording
okay.
that. No. But it, like when the parents came out and walked, I was in the living room, laying on the floor, like
Man
It's like-
down.
yeah. I was like, oh my god. They were like, what happened? And I was like, he hit me.
Kids don't know. Kids
No.
don't know.
Yeah. They don't know.
They don't know. They're just
Nope.
like, oh.
He's sitting there looking
he
at me
fell.
like, oh, it's playtime. No, hell, it's not.
No, get off.
elbow drop his face while he's weak.
Yeah, man. I was like, yeah, that shit was hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Like, oh, it was funny.
That's so funny.
Yeah, when he missed, and it finally, the pain registered, I was like, oh shit.
Again, I'll say Queen City House.
Queen City House Hunter.
I know. So anyway,
These realtors,
I got a kick out of that.
you guys go through some stuff, you
Yeah,
know.
we do.
Frontline.
Yeah,
Yeah, we do.
That's by far the best crazy client section we've had. So. We like to play a game at the end of every episode. It is the who is most likely to game. So I'm going to read a scenario, and then you guys say into the mic who you think is most likely to do the scenario out of the two of you.
Oh no.
So I think we're going to learn a little bit about each other's work styles here, and also we're going to learn what you guys think of each other. So let's get started. Number one. Who is most likely to drop a client?
Me.
I was gonna say I didn't want to listen. Sometimes this has bit me in the ass. I'm not saying this is a good thing, but if there's even like a speck of hope that I can get along and go through, I will fight to the death. And it's not to lead anybody down a wrong path. It's like I'm gonna literally stick my neck out for you if I can get this to work. A lot of that comes from experience. I don't have a ton of experience in the scope of like what it takes to be in this industry, and I feel like Shawn has built up a really good reputation for himself where he can be like, I'm here for people that are serious.
Yeah.
And like I can cut people off if I want to.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a cut. Yeah, I do cut them off, but I don't leave them. Okay, I want to make sure I'm clear about that. So I do choose clients. Okay, they can fire me, and I tell them in the consultation, listen, it's a two-way street, right? You have the ability to get out of this listing agreement or buyer's agency agreement with me, but I can get out too.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's fair. Yeah,
it is fair.
Yeah, so I won't drop them per se. I'll refer them to somebody else.
Yeah.
Right. I'm a big energy person, as we talked about in the very beginning. Right. I believe in energy. I protect it. I like to protect my spirit, my space, my spirit, all of it, right? If I'm going to be the best I can be, then I need to be working with people that want to be the best they can be, right? If you're grumpy, always have an attitude, I just can't do that.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not for me. But there's somebody out there for you, and I'm going to find them and refer them, and I'll still get paid.
Yeah. Number two, who is most likely to be drunk when a client calls after 5?
Chelsea.
Yeah. Man. Here's the thing. If I'm drunk, I don't answer. But
text message goes a long way.
Our hours are till 6:30, but after that, all bets are off. And I will tell you, if I have had any amount of alcohol, I'm probably not going to answer your phone call. Not because I'm going to say anything bad. I'll probably be your best friend after it, but it's just not, not good business.
Who is most likely to get in a fight with a listing agent?
Shawn.
I would say Chelsea.
Sign my shit. What about that?
Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah, so you know what? I don't fight agents a lot. Because I don't. You know why? Because I find that if you talk to people with respect, right, and you present yourself respectfully, people love me. Like even the adversary agent, right? They find a very hard time being adversarial to me, right? Because I'm always polite, even though I'm telling them off in my head, right? I'll snap you in half, you little so-and-so, right? But that's not what they hear. I'm very polite, very respectful. So no, I don't really get into a lot of fights with agents. I mean, I deliver my position and my message, and at the end of the day, the listing agent can only do what the seller tells them.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So there's no need in me and you being mad at each other.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I mean, you're going to have another listing that I want.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't want to leave a bad taste in your mouth.
Don't burn any bridges.
No. So even the guy that I had to go after for them, Robert. Yeah, I said your name, Robert.
Shout out, Robert.
Yeah, I said your name, buddy. But he and I developed a really good relationship when the deal was done.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he respected and I respected him fighting for his client too. I respect that. So. Yeah.
Who is most likely to become an Instagram influencer?
Shelly.
Instagram.
Shelly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her. Chelsea.
I don't have the followers to back it. I like Instagram.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say about it. I support it. I'm not as
Yeah.
active as I used to be. It's all pictures of me and Fernando if you go on my page.
Yeah. We're gonna plug it.
I love
but
him.
Who is most likely to accidentally cuss when speaking to a client?
Me.
Yeah?
Oh,
Maybe.
That was Shawn.
Depends on the client.
I wish it was Shawn. I don't know. I feel them
will.
out. If they cuss, I'll
Yeah.
cut. It's
Yeah.
not an
Yeah.
accident though. Like I feel
Right.
like if they're kind of setting the tone for
I have definitely accidentally cursed
Yeah.
today as a
at
matter of
them or
fact.
Yeah.
with them.
No, just I was just talking to him, and I was like, shit, man, like, and I was like,
Oh, that's not a cuss
and I was
word.
like, oh, damn, did I say shit? Like that's what I was thinking to myself.
I'm
and I
from
was
New
like,
York. That's polite.
Yeah.
well, shit, but listen, we're in the Bible Belt here. in the
Yeah,
South.
you
I
gotta be
forget.
careful.
Yeah, so you don't really know, like,
Yeah.
Yes.
kind of skirting the line, but yeah, I don't speak a lot of French, but
Yeah, you gotta feel it out for
Yeah.
sure.
Speak a lot of French.
yeah,
Who's most likely to invite a client to their house for dinner?
Not me.
not me.
No, I don't want anybody in my house.
Mm-mm.
No, if I work with you, no.
I have invited a client to my home, a few of them actually, but
Yeah.
that's because we developed really good
Sure.
relationships during the process.
Yeah.
Right? They're like friends of mine now.
Yeah.
But just the average, nah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want you to know where I live.
I think
People
that's
are
safe.
crazy.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
People are
don't
crazy,
know.
Who is most likely to be on a reality TV show?
I don't know if Chelsea wants to,
Ooh.
but I want to.
I was gonna say, I
We've
weirdly
talked
think
about
Shawn
this.
might be the answer.
No, but we've talked about this. Like
Yes.
Shawn. Here's the thing. Shawn
Mm.
might be the producer, editor, and star of his own show.
Yes.
Yeah. Speak it into existence. No, but I could
Yes.
see that happening.
I would watch that show.
And just let me have a cameo.
I
One
actually
episode.
auditioned.
Oh
For
yeah.
one.
Yeah, somebody
say it?
a producer in New York saw me on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I really think the show is out now because she pitched me this concept, and I had a 2-hour Zoom meeting with her and her team, and the concept was about a show where they were going to a city, and because the market was so tight, right, they were going to be looking at fixer-upper homes.
Oh yeah.
So I would have a contractor come out with us. We'd go into this fixer-upper home, and then see about what it would cost to make the home what they wanted.
Yep.
So I interviewed with them and did this thing. Yeah, it was pretty neat. I didn't get hired.
Was
Yeah.
it flip or flop?
No, it wasn't flip or flop. No.
I was gonna say it's like Flip or
Target.
Listed or
Well,
something. Yeah, there's
you
a
know
couple
what?
of
No, so it wasn't on a main channel. They do it for streaming services.
Mm.
them. Okay.
Yeah, and I was watching a random streaming service, and I was like, "Get the hell out of here! You took my show."
That's my show. But most likely to stalk a client on any sort of social media.
You?
Shawn? Yeah. Okay.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, on every platform.
All of them. I was gonna say, what's your
Yeah.
go-to stock platform?
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah, yeah,
No.
You're not picking the phone up today, really? Okay, you're on social media. I saw a post.
Yeah. Where are you at? What are you doing?
Yeah, well, yeah. How, you're ignoring me? Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
You don't want to buy a home anymore?
I did have I don't
What?
tend to look people up on social media, but I did have a client add me on LinkedIn, and he
Mhm.
sent me a message and he said, "Thought my page would be useful in case you need it for any of my information, like for
Wow.
processing his loan." I'm like,
What?
your credentials on LinkedIn are not going to help
They're
me.
not
Yeah, they
important.
And
don't
that
really
was,
hold
like,
up.
Right.
He wasn't like being slick or anything. That's like 100% how he meant it. Like,
Wow.
you can verify my previous employers here. And I was
Wow.
like, no, sir. That's not
No,
how
sir.
this
Right.
works.
Right.
Who?
Yeah.
And this is probably Shawn too. But who's most likely to lay on a bed at an open house?
No, not me.
Okay. Well, it's
No?
more just because you go
Mm-mm.
to open houses more,
Yes.
obviously.
Well, yeah.
Just really,
Would you like? Let's say you've had like
Mm.
just like the longest day,
Me
and you're
or
just
him?
Nope.
you're just sitting there. It's dead. The open house is dead.
Mm-mm. Not
Nothing.
the bed.
What about the couch?
Not gonna lay on the couch either.
No.
I don't sit on people's couch. I wouldn't even lay on a
Yeah.
bed at like a
Mm-mm.
furniture store.
Heck no.
In the
Like,
last episode, I discussed
Mm.
laying on your couch at your house.
do you like my
Mm.
couch?
Yeah, that cloud couch
Oh,
is
man.
where it's at when I pet sit.
Nice.
Me and Marty just prop up there and
That couch is amazing. So
Yeah.
the two
Really?
ends. This is not a plug
Oh.
for the company that makes that couch, but the two ends like fold in and it turns into like this big cloud
Really?
baby crib
It's so
for adults.
comfortable.
It is really
Oh.
great.
and last one, this one's kind of like warm and fuzzy. Who is most likely to give part of your commission to save a deal?
I think probably both of us.
Well,
I definitely have before.
yeah.
I'm getting ready to in a couple of weeks.
So I mean, like as a lender, we can't share our commission, but
Right.
I know many, many times I've dropped my commission to the bottom of the
Right.
barrel,
Yeah.
like to the point where I'm barely making anything on
Yeah.
it
Mhm.
to save a deal. People don't realize. I know one of our coworkers. She was at a closing. She went to it. Sometimes loan officers attend closings too. And her client made a comment like, "Oh my God, you made that much on it, and you didn't even have to do anything." And
Oh,
my
wow.
coworker, her
Jeez.
face was like, "What?"
Wow.
Like, there is not only like the fiduciary responsibility of everything we're doing, but like the amount of work, and I don't think people see the hours that go into, and I mean like tears, like I'm not even kidding, like there are just some really, really tough things that happen behind the scenes.
And
on
the
both
fires
ends.
that you guys put out
Oh,
that you don't
the
even know they were
fires.
fires, because when
Right.
you texted them and said, "Hey, it's done,"
Mhm.
obviously you shared the screenshot, but they didn't see the fire that was going on and you
Right.
battling.
It's
Like,
so much
Right.
work, and
Yeah.
like people in this industry, I'm removing myself from this, but people in this industry, they earn every cent that they make
Yeah, they
because
do.
they're going to bat for you when you don't
Yeah.
even realize
I
it.
agree.
And there's deals that not deals, but there's conversations that are being had on the back end of things where they're fighting on your behalf to literally save you thousands of dollars.
Mhm.
And it's tough because you're sticking your neck out for people and you don't know, like they could
Right.
cut bait right before,
Right.
just like that you just described. And there's no upfront, like clients don't owe us anything, like there's
Right.
no contract that they have to stick with us, and you're just doing all this based on like, I believe in you, I want to help you.
well, you guys rocked that game.
Wow.
Woohoo.
You both win. Congratulations.
Awesome.
Wow, thank
5
you.
points for both of
High
you.
five.
Thanks for
Woo.
having us
High five over here.
on.
Wait,
You're
high-
leaving it.
high
High
five.
five,
Sorry, I can't-
Chelsea.
Jeez.
Let's do 3 just to
Boom. There we
make
go.
up for it. I'm sorry I can't
Yeah.
this headphone, I can't.
That's okay, Chelsea.
I'm sorry.
So we're gonna do 2 things.
Okay.
First, I want you guys to tell people where they can find you,
Okay.
because we're gonna close out. It's been a good 2 hours, I think. Whenever I do these interviews, I'm like, "Do you have 2 hours?" And I know that's asking a lot. So thank you guys so much for sticking around, having some drinks, answering questions,
Thank you for having me.
all that fun stuff.
Us.
So tell the people where they can find you.
Chelsea, go ahead.
Chelsea, go for it.
Oh, this
Ladies
is so fun.
first.
Courtney, I actually talked about this before.
Yeah.
I used to have a podcast a really long time ago, so this is actually like a memorable thing for me to say because I used to say this as my ending tag on my old podcast. But it's Chelsea Emery with 2 Y's on all the things. Literally, I think every platform. That could be changing after October because I am changing my last name.
Getting married.
There you are.
The day we come back from Miami.
There you go.
But for now, that's where I'm at.
Chelsea Emery. And then, Shawn, where can the people find you?
Yeah, so on YouTube, Shawn Gerald. What's the rest of it? Oh yeah, Shawn Gerald, living in Charlotte.
We're gonna tag everything, so like
Okay.
don't panic too hard. but-
Okay, yeah, that's YouTube. So Shawn Gerald, living in Charlotte. Instagram, Shawn Gerald Realtor.
Yep.
And then TikTok is also Shawn Gerald Realtor.
Awesome.
That's it.
That's it. So
Yeah.
to wrap up, we also would like to hear your biggest smooch to help us brand with the lips.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
So one at a time, Shawn, give us your best smooch.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Whoa, Miss Gerald. Oh my God. Woo, Chelsea,
Can I dedicate it?
you can dedicate it
Oh,
to
boy.
who?
Fernando, obviously.
Oh,
I'm
drink.
Yay, that was planted. I'm just kidding. He's gonna listen to this and be like, "You literally just said my name as many times as you could." Anyway, love you.
That's
Nice.
adorable.
Sweet
All
to
right.
the point.
Here's mine.
Yes.
It's a little.
Little pop
It's
at the
kind of
end,
little.
right?
I'm changing it every time.
Oh.
Okay.
We'll find it. Anyways, I would like to thank my guests, Chelsea Emery and Shawn Gerald, for joining me today. This has been episode 2 of the Talk Mortgage to Me podcast. Check us out on Instagram, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, all the stuff. Give us a follow, give us a like, and we'll be back in the next week or so with the next episode. I'm out. Woo.